Okay friends, what am I doing today? I'm making cinnamon rolls. As Valentine's approach, I always like to give something to the people that are close to me, and I decided I was gonna make some cinnamon rolls and share with those people. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm doing cinnamon rolls. I already have some recipes, a variety of cinnamon rolls that you can always try it. But I decided to make this for those people that are new to my channel and they're coming in. So anyway, let's start it on making the dough for the cinnamon rolls. I am doubling the recipe. I leave the recipe on the description so you can always go there and get the recipe. Of course, I'm doubling. This is 8 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of oil, 4 cups of milk, and then this is for the dough. I'm gonna add a couple eggs just to make it a little bit more rich. A teaspoon of fine salt, and then 3 tablespoons of instant dry yeast. So that's what we're gonna do today. And I'm gonna start by warming up my milk and getting all that going. Like I said, as Valentine's or the holidays, different holidays throughout the year, I always like to do something fun for those people that are close to me. I'm gonna warm this up. I don't want this scalding. I just want to warm it through probably about 100, 105 degrees temperature. That is going. We're gonna do the other stuff. I'm gonna crack the eggs. I've never put eggs in my dough, but I want this to be a little bit more rich, so I figure I would add a couple eggs, and I'm gonna add my sugar. And we're gonna beat this until it's really creamy and combined. Okay friends, my milk is warmed through, and now I'm gonna put my yeast and mix it. And then I'm just gonna leave this aside for a little bit. Just that yeast to dissolve and start bubbling. Once it starts bubbling, we know. To make sure it's dissolved all over. Okay. To my flour, I'm gonna add my salt, and we're gonna mix. Okay, and my eggs and my sugar are beat. That's how you wanna. And I'm gonna take this, and we're gonna put the hook. And I always said, if you don't make a mess when you bake, it's not good. So I'm gonna mix this just a little bit, just to make that flour combine a little bit with those eggs. And then we're gonna add the milk and the yeast and all that. See bubbles on my yeast. And now I'm gonna pour slowly. And of course, I always say, depending on your flour, you might have to add more milk or more flour. Okay, I'm gonna mix this on medium for maybe about 5 minutes, and then I'll set it. Okay friends, this beat it here for 5 minutes. I needed more, but this mixer is too small for this quantity. I should have known that this quantity of, it can only take maybe 6 cups of flour. After that, it's going everywhere. So I'm gonna finish by hand. Need a bigger mixer, but. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in this bowl, and I'm gonna finish in here. And I added 1 more cup of flour. This is a different flour than I'm using from my recipe before. So, but the dough is almost there. It's not quite, but it's almost. It's light, and it's stretching good. And it's not sticking to my hands. Okay? I'm gonna leave this dough here resting till it doubles in size. and then I'll show you the next step. That's what you want. Okay, friends, my dough is rised, and now we're gonna finish. I need a heaping teaspoon of baking powder and a teaspoon of baking soda. And we're gonna mix this, and we're gonna do our dough. Punch it down, add those ingredients there. This took maybe about 45 minutes. I'm using my top oven, so I put this in my bottom oven. So that's why it came quick, okay? Okay, I divided my dough in two, and now I'm gonna roll this. And the thinner you roll it, the more layers you're gonna have. So, and I wanted a rectangle kind of dough. Anyway, I'm gonna stretch this and then I'll show you. Okay, friends, I rolled as thin as I possibly can. I don't want it any thinner than this. So, and this dough is so good, it's full of bubbles. So it has rised enough. And then I have 2 cubes or a cup of butter. And I'm going to spread this. I've done cinnamon rolls many times in here. I just did some without doing with the yeast. You don't need to do just with the yeast. I did a sourdough discard, not that long ago. But I was trying to figure out what to make for my friends for Valentine's. And everybody loves this. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, spread generously butter everywhere. Okay, and then I have brown sugar. I'm gonna spread. This is according to whatever you want, however sweet you want, how many cinnamon rolls you're gonna make. I have a cup and a half of sugar here. And I'm just gonna spread it everywhere, the sugar. This is according to your liking. Since this is not for me, I'm putting plenty of sugar. If it was for me, I would put less, but I'm sharing this with my friends for Valentine's. And I'm gonna add some chocolate chips to it, because on Valentine's you need chocolate chips. So I'm gonna put a very generously cinnamon, everywhere. You want this very generously. And these are gonna rise again before I bake them. Okay. I think that's enough cinnamon. I'm gonna spread it out and mix everything, making sure going to these ends so they get, I'm leaving this end kind of a little bit without sugar or cinnamon so it can seal, okay? And I have some chocolate chips. I'm gonna just put some over, just because you can't have Valentine's without chocolate. You can add anything else. You can add nuts. If this was for my husband, I'll make some for him. It won't have none of this. Okay? And now we're gonna start rolling. Start rolling from the longest piece and tuck. Roll and tuck. Okay, I'm gonna roll all this, then I'll show you when it's all done. Okay friends, I roll and now I'm cutting. And how I measure is I put 3 fingers and I measure that. I want them to be nice big cinnamon rolls. I don't want them to be little ones. And this one, we just push them together. Okay, I have some pan, and I'm gonna try to put 6 in each pan. Okay, brush it around, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave these 2. They're a little smaller. Those will go for us. Okay friends, here is my cinnamon rolls ready to go to the oven. I'm preheating my oven for 350, and these gonna go for about 20 to 25 minutes. Okay friends, here it is, my cinnamon rolls. They baked for 20 minutes. And now I'm gonna put the frosting on top. And this frosting is just cream cheese, powdered sugar, and some vanilla. So, easy to make. And here it is, my cinnamon rolls. I'm gonna let them cool a little bit, then I'm gonna bag them, and then I'm gonna share with my friends for Valentine's. So make something like this for Valentine's, something you can share with your friends. This is an easy recipe. Until next time, have a good day.